Network of awareness makes your brain coherent. One of the fastest growing podcasts. You can hear it 24/7. Got listeners out in London, informationalists in Paris. Echo spreading out, no parrot. Just dissect, digest, and share it. The righteous rhymes hit the spirit. Click 90 times, it won't perish. Cause y'all's the mind ain't no fairy tale like the belly our parents. It's time to rise, don't get wary. United minds, it's apparent. Download every single errand, but most ain't fit to catch it, even if they were Larry. Interviews, the interludes, they enter you, taking you on a journey like no other. It places you in a state of awareness. It's your fault if you hate the truth, cause Yahweh's on his way, my brother. Better change your views. All praise to Yah.
Peace and greetings. Presenting the Network of Awareness podcast radio station, providing in-depth information on society and culture in America and abroad, bringing you truth messages of inspiration, keen insight, reputable interviews, and so much more. So now, for the truth you've been waiting for, your host of the Network of Awareness podcast, Aura, the informationalist.
Peace and greetings, and welcome to the Network of Awareness podcast radio show on Faith Over Fear Fridays. And you know how we like to play some music on Faith Over Fear Fridays. So we definitely going to give you some little bit more than usual. And welcome, brothers and sisters. I'm Or the Informationalist, and I'm here today to talk about episode 5 of season 4, the path of most resistance. And it's a path that some of us choose willingly. It's a path that some of us are just on, just because we choose to live righteously. And there's others that are not. And those are usually the people that embrace the path of least resistance. So we're going to talk a lot about that today and some other things on this Faith Over Fear Friday. I hope everybody's enjoying their evening tonight. It's approximately 7:05 p.m. on Friday, May 20th. And we're going to be right back. We're going to play a little song from Take One called Malone, and then we'll be right back for the broadcast. Here we go.
Has. Definitely has. Wait, hold on. What's this? Because I got an email from a Malone Hicks. Wonder what this is about. Pretty lengthy. Let's see. Shalom, take. I'm hoping that you read this message. It might be long, but your music helped me through depression. I was on the brink of ending my life, but when I heard you on the radio, it changed my life. I was at my lowest point, abusing drugs and getting stoned, cheating on my girl cause we could never get along. But when I heard the song, All Praise to Yah, all of a sudden my intuition raised the bar. I was a mess, but now I'm sweeping up my foolishness, cause I'm influenced by the music that you're doing. It's got me growing closer to Yah. At one point I just wanted to score drugs, but it's all about the favor now. It ain't a cakewalk, every day is a battle. Trials and tribulations, but I'm still in the saddle. Less of a cattle, more of a leader, soon to be father. My wifey 6 months, already went out and got a rattle. I hope you keep pushing music for Yah, cause not a lot of credit's being given to Yah. There's way too much vanity and too much pride. A lot of times, people just lose sight of the Messiah. But anywho, I just wanted to say thank you, brother. I guess this email is my only way to hug you. My life has changed for the better. It's all about the Son and Father in heaven. My loyalty's with them forever. The world thinks we're crazy just for praising Yah. They put us all to shame just for praising Yah. But we don't give a damn cause we true at heart. We know who we are. We're children of Yahweh. 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 Crazy just for praising Yah. They put us all to shame just for praising Yah. But we don't give a damn cause we true at heart. We know who we are. We're children of Yahweh. All praise to Yahweh. 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 Yes, Yahweh. Wow. All praise to Yah. That just made my day right there. Let me write him back real quick. Shalom, Malone. Thank you for your kind words, brother. It's feedback like this that makes me continuously keep doing what I do for Yahweh Ben Yahweh and Father Yahweh Elohim. I hope you and your queen stay well and grow spiritually stronger together. May no weapons formed against you all prosper. And may the Most High favor her with a successful pregnancy so that you both may have a healthy, beautiful child. Barakatah. All praise to Yah. Praise Yahweh. Hey.
Nothing like this.
Stage Green Radio.
Please just tell me what's happening to me in plain English without the mumbo jumbo.
You are now tuned in to the Network of Awareness.
How you doing?
So welcome to Faith Over Fear Friday. This is All the Informationalist, and thank you for joining tonight's live broadcast on the path of most resistance. And it's been a great week, people. Just wanted to touch up on some things that I usually talk about in the beginning just to introduce. If you haven't tried it out, definitely to some of the past episodes this week. To start out season 4, I've been placing these Podkite links, which are links that allow you to leave reviews. And it's also a link that allows you to choose what different platform you want to listen to the show from. And you can choose what links you want. You can even choose links that you may not be aware of, like the premium channel, so on and so forth. So if anybody who wants to or interested in leaving reviews on Apple or Podchaser, definitely hit those review links up that's within the description box of the episode. So whether you listen to it on Spreaker, or on Apple, on Spotify, or any platform for that matter, for the exception of networkofawareness.com, you can leave a review. And then on networkofawareness.com, if you download it directly from there, of course, you can leave a review on any of the episodes. What else? And we got some great interviews coming up in the very near future. We'll be very consistent on a week-to-week basis. We'll have at least 1 to 2 interviews for this season. But in the meantime, this week has gone by fast, and you hear me talk a lot about how time is just accelerating, man. And it's not so much time, because we all know that time doesn't exist. But there is an acceleration of a vibration that's moving very fast. And if you're somebody like myself, we're all experiencing these different things that are happening to us that is very spiritual. A lot of us are waking up in the mid hours of the day, early in the morning, when we're not getting a full rest of sleep. And it's because the vibration is raising. We'll wake up at, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, sometimes 2 or 3. A lot of us are getting the ringing in the ears. People are starting to see more of their reality, starting to see certain things they never saw before on a consistent basis. Just feeling a yearning to not wanting to adapt to the ways of the world. There's a lot, it's happening to a lot of people. And you hear me talk about how the pandemic, once it was brought out, it really woke a lot of people up. And a lot of people that were waking up are starting to experiencing these different things that I mentioned, plus more. And these are all proofs that, we're ascending or transcending and vibrating at a higher frequency, but not everybody is. It's only those that are really starting to become more conscious and self-aware of who they are and of just the universe as a whole, feeling more deeper connection. And it's happening because, as the days and days go by, they're starting to go by quicker and quicker. But there's not everybody is experiencing that. There's some people where time is moving very slow for them. And a lot of those types of people, they're just stuck more into or connected more to this third dimensional reality that many of us are leaving, because the world and everything around it is just increasing in the way that it moves, in the way that it functions. And a lot of people don't understand that. And for me personally, with the ringing of the ears, which is very significant for me, it's been going on for years, but in the last, I'd say several months, it's just been intensifying, where it's almost like it's not so much that that bad things are going to come just because of the times that we're in, but you also know that a lot of these bad things that are about to take place is only because there's so many good things that are about to happen. And there's some form of balance with that. And it's just something I wanted to mention because it's now Friday, right? And I can remember it felt like yesterday doing a Monday night show at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But it really just goes by that quick. And it's because the vibration's increasing. And the reason why I chose to do this episode today, brothers and sisters, for Faith Over Fear Friday, is because on Faith Over Fear Friday, I like to, keep that theme of having that faith, that unwavering faith over fear, where you start doubting and questioning things and being worrisome and fearful of things that have happened and things that have not happened that you're anticipating. And obviously, we know that's not a good way to live. But those that are very resilient people in the world today are walking on a path of the most resistance. It's the path that comes with a lot of adversity and a lot of obstacles. It's one of the reasons I created this artwork. Let me fix my mic over here. I came up with this artwork just to kind of give you a real clear-cut, simple illustration of the path and how I perceive it. If it's like a roadway, right? Like you see here, and there's nothing but these boulders and rocks all along the way. And you got to travel through this in order to get to where you need to be. And the righteous path, man, it is one that's met with great adversity. But those that travel the path of most resistance, from my experiences and from my perception, they wind up becoming very, very strong people. And what I mean by strong, I'm not talking about physically or mentally. That is part of it. But more importantly, it's spiritually strong, where they're able to endure what most can't. And they endure it well because of this path that they're on that's constantly refining them and defining them to be durable, to withstand that which most people can't withstand. And it's a beautiful thing when you can surround yourself with people, especially in these days and time, that are built this way. They are the walkers of the path of least resistance. Of most resistance, opposed to those that seek the path of least resistance. Because one thing I've noticed about the United States of America, and just in the past couple of decades, is that it's the way it teaches our youth and even us, people across the board, it teaches us like that the path of least resistance is the way to go. At least they make it seem like that, especially when it comes into certain industries like the music industry, where they put these images out to the youth, showing them with the big cars and the chains and the trips and the women and everything. And they make them seem like, makes it seem like that's what it's about. And it's really that easy, to attain that amount of wealth. And a lot of times these days, they do put out that message, and they also let you know that, hey, if you want to live this type of lifestyle, the easy way to make it here is to basically sell your soul. And you'll make it happen. But they're not going to tell you everything that happens behind the scenes, because even that may be an easy route to wealth, or you're going to go through some things. You're going to go through some things that are going to test you and are ultimately going to degrade you spiritually. And then you're not, then you're going to be basically traumatized and affected for the rest of your life. You will never be the same. But the people who choose to walk the path of most resistance, and some that don't even choose it on their own, it just so happens that the desire and the willpower that they have and the dedication that they have to the higher power, to the Creator, to the Most High, puts them on that path, because they have to go down that path in order to be strong enough to endure what's to come. And many of us that are a little bit older can understand this even more because of all the things you've been through and where you're at now. I'm a testament to that, because I can tell you that statistically, with everything that I've experienced since, let's say, the age of 18 years old, and that's when you're pretty much considered adult legally, right? In the United Serpents of America. Considering everything that I've been through, statistically, I'm not supposed to be here. Or I'm supposed to be in prison and have served some type of time based on the experiences and certain things that have happened. But yet, none of those things have happened. And I'm here today, ready to endure the things that are going to come in my life that are not only going to test my willpower, but I'm going to be ready to answer the test or the call based on all of the adversity that I had to be redefined to go through in order to become the person, the human being that I am today, the man that I am today. And there's so much more to go But what's interesting is that as you get older, those that are walking that path of most resistance, that resistance becomes slightly easier and better to deal with than you did 10 years prior or 20 or whatever the case may be, whether it be 30, 40, 50, because there's some people right now that are in their 60s and 70s that have been through some things and are still in it, are still living this life upright and are very wise beyond their years. And that's why faith over fear is so important, because a lot of times most people, when they're met with adversity, they can't handle the pressure of what that adversity brings into their life. And a lot of times they fold. That's why that's cliche saying, but it's very popular. It makes a lot of sense. There's those that excel under pressure, and there are those that fold. And depending on, what your situation is and how you live in your life, if you're a person that folds, you're not going to be able to deal with certain things that come. Especially nowadays, like there are people like that see everything that's going on and they feel like there's no hope and they kind of give up. And then when they make that decision, that takes them on a crash course for whatever they're about to experience, which is not good. And then there's those that are embracing everything that's coming and are not worried and have the utmost faith in the most high. And they have a really strong sense of confidence of who they are because of their definement, and are looking forward to dealing with whatever's to come, because it's like, once you're not afraid, it's like a man or woman that goes into battle that's no longer afraid of death. That person or that man or woman going into battle is much different, is put together as far as like as a soldier, as a warrior, than that which is afraid of death. It just does something. It puts you on a whole different frequency, because you're no longer worried about something that's such a temporary experience, opposed to the person who thinks it's a permanent one. And I hope this is making sense, because a lot of people don't understand. They think that it's really the path of least resistance, that we should be striving for that. Where it's like, oh, I want things to run smoothly and easy. Yeah, there's things that we can have run smoothly and easy. But when it comes to when it comes to building character, I mean, really building character as a person who wants to be better today than they were yesterday, and continue that type of lifestyle where they're constantly growing and learning, it's going to come with some major roadblocks, as you can see in the artwork. But just like anything, once you become conditioned to dealing with whatever it is, or doing something over and over repetitively, it becomes second nature to you. And many of us, it's becoming second nature to deal with adversity, because anything is possible through the will and the grace of the Most High. And many of us have embraced that with the utmost unsurmountable belief and confidence that that's exactly what it is. And there's nothing that can stop that. And that's why usually when you're on this type of path, it's a very lonely one, or it's one that's filled with very, very few people. But it's meant to be that way, because it's not for everybody. And with that being said, let's just think about that for a second. I'm going to fix my microphone here because looks like it's fallen off the stand. So I'm going to play a little bit of music real quick. We'll be right back. This is episode 5 of season 4, The Path of Most Resistance. Here we go.
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you are looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. Make me a nightmare for people like you.
Sometimes the best thing to do is walk away so you can protect your peace, protect your energy, and keep growing. You'll never be able to fully grow into your true potential until you learn to let go of the things that are holding you back and weighing you down. Yeah. I've been going through it, but I never asked why. I just know I gotta fly, I'm gone, spiritually growing. Yeah, I gotta go and touch the sky, left behind, praise Yah, and I'm gone. Been going through this journey of life, such a wild ride. So many ups and downs, so many that done drag me down. Had to let them go, lot of pain up in my soul, but I gotta keep going on. When you start waking, they say you change and start rearranging the way they start acting towards you. Turn they back on you, you said you never leave. Cut the heart up off my sleeve and just stepped on it. Should've just kept that shit, at least it would be beating. I'm feeling defeated, fatigue, I can't catch my breath. Just wanna collapse, yeah, I keep on running laps. Miss y'all, but no turning back. You said what you said and did what you did, so I gotta leave. All that shit can't be undid. I gotta leave, protect my energy. I gotta go, I'll forever love you though. I've been going through it, but I never asked why. I just know I gotta fly, I'm gone, spiritually growing. Yeah, I gotta go and touch the sky, left behind, praise Yah, and I'm gone. I'm so tired, but I gotta keep on going. I can't let y'all my wife or my son down, so I gotta keep on growing. Such a long journey, but a longer way to go. Can't let it go, my heart is cold, it's made of gold. Gotta keep on pushing for my son. I'm the chosen one, was built for this. Why they say they love me, but keep talking shit. Not trying to complain, just venting empty in my soul. I gotta let it go, releasing, receiving so much favor from Yah, Shalom, Barakatah, I'm gone. I gotta keep on stepping, just serving my purpose. Yeah, been going through trials, but fucking man, it's worth it because I'm only going up from here. Faith over fear, yeah. I've been going through it, but I never asked why. I just know I gotta fly, I'm gone, spiritually growing. Yeah, I gotta go and touch the sky, left behind, praise Yah, and I'm gone. I've been going through it, but I never asked why. I just know I gotta fly, I'm gone, spiritually growing. Yeah, I gotta go and touch the sky, left behind, praise Yah, and I'm gone.
You
think you'll ever be able to get to that point? Or do you think for the rest of your...
You are now tuned in to the Network of Awareness.
Aggressive mode. What's your take on that?
I don't know, man. I mean, I just live for today. I just can't really, see the future. I mean, hopefully if I have more good days, I'll rap, more serene.
All my life, I've been fighting to get to a place I belong. It gets hard, but I won't quit, 'cause I know the Lord's made me strong. We can't run, we can't hide, 'cause life is still gonna always be there. All my life, I've been fighting to get to a place I belong. I understand, and I really get it. I understand, everybody's different. I understand upbringings can be rough. Not everyone was raised with privilege. I understand everybody's cards are different. I understand everybody's got a mission. Your life wasn't even your decision. You were just stitched up, born, raised, and placed in this position. Sounds unfair, you didn't get a say, but Yahweh makes no mistakes. You might resent it, but your life plays a role in a big picture Yah has made. So whether you were raised wealthy or poor, there's no mistake as to why you were born. Don't be ashamed, don't be so torn. Learn to embrace that you're better than the norm. All my life, I've been fighting to get to a place I belong. It's hard, but I won't quit, 'cause I know the Lord's made me strong. We can't run, we can't hide, 'cause life is still gonna always be there. All my life, I've been fighting to get to a place I belong.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do it because I'm just gonna do it. Here, no, that's bullshit, because that's not what state of mind I'm in. So if I be in a better state of mind, then yeah, but right now I'm just like all over the place.
Everything that I say, it's never been a lie. All the pain I endure, it made me wanna cry, 'cause it hurt deep inside. It pains me every day, it pains me every night. How much I gotta fight to keep myself alive. Can I take a break from shit? In a minute, I'm just gonna lose it. I don't wanna live like this. Self sound much better. I could get out the way, no suicide. Somebody gotta take me. I'm a battle to the end, guarantee never been a coward in this. Just fear restricted, better pay attention. What I gotta say is authentic. A lot of people cannot do this transparent. It's a different task to manage. Spread it out to the planet. Knows me on a personal tip. Gotta be straight from the hip. Total darkness, I don't want a part of it. Believe what I say, I want positive energy. Never want, I need a little bit of peace. I really wanna show all 32 teeth. Got a beautiful smile, it's been a while. I'm a really nice guy when I see you. High five, only thing keeping me calm when I praise Yah. When I praise Yah.
All my life, I've been fighting to get to a place I belong. It gets hard, but I won't quit, 'cause I know the Lord's made me strong. We can't run, we can't hide, 'cause life is still gonna always be there. All my life, I've been fighting to get to a place I
think that you'll be able to outgrow this, this state of mind, of like, darkness and not, being able to guess, put more positive energy in your music. And I'm not saying that that your music's not positive, but I'm just making a point, like the state of mind that you're in, like as you're making this music, instead of, being always angry all the time, which I mean, like I said, it's in your right, but still, like being able to rap from a more positive state of mind, like, just more blissful, you know what I mean? And not so much, I guess, hurt and anger inside, you know what I mean? Because like I said, at the end of the day, it's better for you, man. It's for your own benefit, it's for your own sanity. And I definitely think you'll get there, at some point.
Time will tell, my friend. Yeah. Only time will tell. But
yeah.
You are now tuned in to the Network of Awareness.
The one and only Oxycontin. Hey yo, drop it.
Steal my ability to know where my heart belonged. His wisdom was like the perfect song composed to detail complexities, melodically making them plain. Even before the lyrics of his song dropped, I knew there was trouble on the horizon. What began as curiosity, intrigue, and guidance soon became an energy of seismic proportions, his every word reverberating through the cells and molecules of my being, sending endorphins racing to the most sensitive parts of me. Until I had no choice but to withdraw. You would think I saw the writing on the wall early on, but how could I? He wanted or asked nothing of me. In fact, I'm certain all he could see was the light of our Heavenly Father in me. So how could this be? That I've fallen in love with him? Love before he and I eventually led to the richest, most decadent cream running down my thighs as the sting of salt and rich sweat burned my eyes. only to realize a few miscalculations I'd made as I laid there crafting my exit speech. With him? Love? It can't be, since he's never touched or even entertained anything beyond my God identity. What's even more funny is the sensual ecstasy we exchange while matching wits, leaving every moment as the perfect foundation for others that follow. Each word he shares sits in the pit of my stomach. And after every encounter, I'm left salivating, taking massive swallows to clear a space for parting words. I don't want him in the bed in my bedroom, for the bed he's made and laid me in countless times before is at the center of my mind, even better than any time a man has taken me from front, back, side, and behind. His love has never lost connection with my eyes, has never explored my thighs, never pricked at my nipples nor pearl. I'm much more to him than what I could be physically in his world. So how do I define and respond to this passion that overrides all logic? I don't want him romantically. Still, I need to know how to process this energy that I cannot contain or disrupt. I don't want to corrupt what we have. It's a value far greater than my heart's confusion. I pray this love that is deeper than I've ever dreamed possible proves to be just an illusion.
When the light has faded and darkness is abroad, the light is only dim because the darkness teaches us lessons that need to be learned in order for one to move forward. Embrace the darkness, for the darkness is your friend. So there is no end. It's only an illusion to what has been. Follow the light and let the spirit embark on a flight to a destination unknown, but to a place where love is the building blocks that call this place home. We are always accompanied on this journey, but still feel alone. It is never the same journey or experience that is ever shown. It is your imagination that awakens the passion that will weather the storm, because it is a pure compassion in the soul that is vigorous and strong. We're one with eternity, so let's be connected to the positive stream that allows us to fulfill our infinite destiny, most definitely. Let's strive to be the best people we can be with a power that is humanly new to see. So mistaken dismay can lead us astray, so let us stay, for it is our free will that allows us to make a choice. So I choose Yahweh with no delay.
I done made mistakes on purpose to divide the worth from the worthless. Reveal the facts to be certain. No pain, no gain in the verses. My faith been alive before churches, cause Yah is person on person. So I'm worried about complicated versions, cause the call to divine divergence. I'm still hurting, soul searching, networking and murking. Anytime think I drop my curtain, with a spirit that city suburban. I'm seriously merging and physically working on my purpose to lyrically service the mental malnourished until I perish.
Yahweh's gonna save the awakened, then take him to an ageless haven. Patient, I can't stray away, gotta keep obliterating the pavement. Still remember that day on the phone, Mark, he said, yo, don't you take your foot off the gas. Always something to give y'all praises.
We're in a dark oasis, countless cases, a peak of faithless. I'ma need the patience, defeat them chases. We seek his graces for true salvation. We keep on praising, we go on blazing these revelations. Cease aids, no altercations, good vibrations. We back to basics to build foundations. Now defeated Satan. I done made mistakes on purpose to divide the worth from the worthless. Reveal the facts to be certain. No pain, no gain in the verses. My faith been alive before churches, cause Yah is person on person. So I'm worried about complicated versions, cause the call to divine divergence. I'm still hurting, soul searching, networking and murking. Anytime think I drop my curtain, with a spirit that city suburban. I'm seriously merging and physically working on my purpose to lyrically service the mental malnourished until I perish. People pursuing acts of violence, their persistent act of defiance, freely forming a righteous alliance, truly against the science appliance. On a mission with wisdom and guidance, steady defeating the ignorant science, sealy convicted and non-compliant. Spiritual wars, they're moving silence.
Let's talk about what matters. Drop the vanity, folks out here losing their sanity. Kids popping off, lost in fantasies. People grieving over loss of family. The evil that be with the power, turning the people with credence to cowards, seeking to seize believers with vows. Man, even Stevie can see that it's foul.
I done made mistakes on purpose to divide the worth from the worthless. Reveal the facts to be certain. No pain, no gain in the verses. My faith been alive before churches, cause Yah is person on person. So I'm worried about complicated versions, cause the call to divine divergence. I'm still hurting, soul searching, networking and murking. Anytime think I drop my curtain, with a spirit that city suburban. I'm seriously merging and physically working on my purpose to lyrically service the mental malnourished until I perish.
The depression gone with every song. Music led by another echelon.
To get you strong, keep pressing on, long after we dead and gone.
From dusk till dawn, we're righteously armed with spiritual lessons from Yah.
We where we belong, we keeping on, the righteous with third of Zion.
Records embellished with heavenly eloquence.
Elohim's presence presently evident.
Intricate elements, infinite intelligence.
Spiritual specimens lyrically resonant.
The gift was inheritance, smaller percentages.
Carefully measured and meant to be shared.
With the message projected, cemented, embedded.
The sensible question is, what will you get from it? I made mistakes on purpose to divide the word from the worthless. Reveal the facts to be certain. No pain, no gain in the verses. My faith been alive before churches, cause Yah is person on person. So I'm worried about complicated versions, cause the call to divine divergence. I'm still hurting, so searching, networking and murking. Anytime think I drop my curtain. With a spirit that city suburban, I'm seriously merging and physically working on my purpose to lyrically service the mental malnourished until I perish.
Tuned in to the Network of Awareness.
Trapped in a world where they don't want how you learn. No, they want everybody the same. They don't want to see that proper growth and development. Expanding my brain so I can learn what I can. All because of how you learning. Learning knowledge that I never thought I would. You get me, yeah. Cause of how you learning. They don't want nobody having that knowledge. Waking up in a different light, got my mind right. It took me time and time just to put it together. You know you not learning nothing when you second guessing. Because it all lies. They put us in school for 12 years plus. Got the nerve to give us a paper certificate. I've been watching quite some time. Finally, that I see what's going on. Every time that I lay down, yeah, I feel, yeah, sad.
I'll start off my morning run about 6 o'clock. Not like I got a choice. It's just it's rough.
Trapped in a world where they don't want how you learn. No, they want everybody the same. They don't want to see that proper growth and development. Expanding my brain so I can learn what I can. All because of how you learning. Learning knowledge that I never thought I would. You get me, yeah. Cause of how you learning.
Remember 6 a.m. waking up to get to class. Now it be 5 a.m. I'm rising up to hit them laps. School never taught me to be this disciplined with myself. All praise to Yahweh, been Yahweh helping me with my health. The spirit keeps me up even though we all packed in the jungle. The elites be lying, they want you mentally trapped in a bubble. You see them smile on TV, always acting like they love you. Don't wanna see you rise up, they wanna see you ash and rubble. I keep my acts in humbleness in hopes that the Lord will favor me even more. Cause he's the one that has my number. He's been my guide, he's made me wise. He's all I know until the end, I'm gonna grind. Looking up to the sky, trying to stay righteous with the stone on my side. The crown of life is my why. I'm asking Father, please help guide me to the light.
Trapped in a world where they don't want how you learn. No, they want everybody the same. They don't want to see that proper growth and development. Expanding my brain so I can learn what I can. All because of how you learning. Learning knowledge that I never thought I would. You get me, yeah. Cause of how you learning.
You are now tuned in to the Network of Awareness.
How you doing? Sup, soldier? I hope you're fine. I hope all is well. I hope mentally you're in good health. I know this life ain't easy, especially when people that you thought would have your back calls you crazy. They must think you bougie, but you got good intentions. Never let the left hand know the right hand's position. You got a light within you that shines brighter than a lighter. I know that you're a fighter, that's why you haven't expired. You're still pushing, you're still shoving. You got a fighter's grit, it's because you really, really love him. It might seem like things are not connecting, but they are. Better believe Elohim is with you every day, my friend. Breathe easy, keep your faith, it's all you have. Don't ever let it go. When it rains, when it pours, let the light guide you forward. You gotta see the big picture. Yah's army is much stronger than ever, and it's only getting bigger.
Somewhere around the world, there's a soul who's tough as nail, and the heart is gold. Somewhere around the world, there's a soul who will be saved when the time is done, 'cause their faith's undying, faith's undying, faith's undying. Peace on the other side. Somewhere around the world, there's a soul who's tough as nail, and the heart is gold. Somewhere around the world, there's a soul who will be saved when the time is done, 'cause the faith's undying, faith's undying, faith's undying. Peace on the other side.
Life is an unpredictable and amazing journey. Our ever-changing conditions within today's society and the constant new trends influencing cultures can become overwhelming, to say the least. But no worries. The Network of Awareness podcast radio show brings peace of mind in these challenging times. Follow us on your favorite podcast listening app and join our community of Network of Awareness at networkofawareness.com. And we are back. Welcome to the Network of Awareness. Shout out to all the brothers and sisters that are in the chat room for the live broadcast. Appreciate your love and support. Shout out to all the people that are going to be downloading the show around the world. You can download on any major listening streaming platform, or you can download directly from our website, networkofawareness.com. And please leave a review. Now the reviews are listed after the show posts. I put the review up about 5 to 10 minutes after so that it can refreshen, and then I put it in there, and it gives you an option to listen from several platforms. In case you want to share that link with anybody, they can do the same. And then, of course, you can leave a review directly on the website if you go through the website, or on the link, you can leave a review directly to Apple or Podchaser after you post a review. So since it is Faith Over Fear Friday, you do know I play a little bit more music than normal from my, from other episodes that I do throughout the week. But what a great week to wind down from, because me in particular, I'm going to get my second win, but I'm a little drained. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as putting a lot of energy to this week that has gone by so fast, and so many more things to come that are very fulfilling, but not everything that is fulfilling is easy to come by or easy to endure. You got to go through some challenges. You got to go through some adversity. And there's always going to be some monkey wrenches that are thrown into the mix. There's always going to be some obstacles. I could tell you that from every positive decision that is made, especially some of the positive, spiritual, fulfilling decisions that I've made that have been working out for me, it's come with some major adversity. And a lot of times the adversity comes very unexpectedly, because you can get into something and it's great, But then something comes along the way and you're like, oh, okay. And that doesn't mean that it's not great anymore. It's just like, because it's so great, you are going to be tested to see how much you're going to appreciate what you have based on the decisions you make when that adversity comes. Are you going to handle it in the most righteous way possible and do the right thing? Because what I've experienced is that one of the biggest tests when it comes to that is when your ego gets tested and your spirit is battling the ego. And sometimes the ego can win. But if you can allow your spirit and use a lot of discernment and kind of disregard the ego from being the primary factor that influences your decision in that particular situation, you're going to do very well. I recently did that with a situation. I could tell you it was hard because the ego was fighting and battling and wanted to win so bad. And I was kind of veering off into that direction until, I realized that it's really not worth it. Because if I was to go in that direction to satisfy the craving that the ego had to want to win and to want to be the primary decision maker in a particular situation I was in, that feeling, that sensation of gratification would have been so momentary. It would have been just for a moment. It would have felt good for just a moment's time. And then after that, things would have crumbled and that decision would have been the wrong one. And it would have affected things for the future. And I hope that many of you that are listening to the show right now, as we're winding down on Faith Over Fear Friday, keep these things in mind because it's a battle every day from the ego and the spirit, man. Especially when you're on the path of the most resistance. Because it's a path that's constantly testing you. It's a path that you constantly have to maneuver and move like the true warrior that you are. Because a warrior, remember, first and foremost, the mind is the most deadliest weapon. The educated mind of the warrior is the most deadliest weapon that the warrior has to use. And not only do we have to use it, but when it's backed by giving praise and understanding and having a connection to the Most High, it makes you very powerful, but it gives you more tests and obstacles to endure and to overcome. And speaking of overcoming, because it is faith over fear and faith always overcomes fear, let's talk about that a little bit. I want to read a couple of quotes for us to kind of process for our Faith Over Fear Friday and to really take this type of energy with us throughout the weekend until we meet again on Monday. So let me read a couple of quotes here. Too many people are thinking security instead of opportunity. They are more afraid of life than death. Interesting, right? How many people out here today in today's society, especially here in the United States of America, are in fear of security? And speaking of that, I had a conversation with a good friend of mine who was talking about how he wants to get out of the mentality of always thinking security and do away with that and just follow his spirit instead of following man's, concerns. And that's a lot of what they do here in the United States. They say you got to have security for this. You got to have, money to fall back on, retirement, and think about this and about what about your future financial security. And they make you worry about security. And it's interesting because my friend said, I don't want to be like that no more. I just want to follow the spirit. I want to trust that everything's going to be all right and just go down that path. And I told him that once he makes that conscious decision to do so, it's like, it's what we do, brothers and sisters, right? When we say we have faith in the Most High, it changes us. we don't think about security no more, because our security and our awareness and everything that ties into that, everything that makes us feel like we're going to be just fine, that security is the most high. It's not the security of man. It's not the security of money. It's not the security of any worldly thing. And it's hard because most of us have been conditioned to be that way since children. We're always taught about security. But we need to stop worrying about that. And that's why a lot of people are more afraid of life than death. And when you really wake up and start to realize the truth within our reality, within our existence, you start to realize that there is nothing to fear, not even life or death. Because as long as you live in the present, you cannot ever be worried about your life or being afraid of dying, because you're in the present moment. You're always making the most of right now, because right now is always right now. Here's another one. It says to do anything that's worth doing, we must not stand back shivering and thinking of the cold and the danger, but jump in and scramble through as well as we can. I like that. I like that quote, because there's a lot of people that take the path or are on the path of most resistance, they just jump in. A lot of times that resistance is very much present. It is very visible. It's letting you know before you even get on it that this is what it's about. Like, I'm just going to give you a sneak peek, just like that artwork. If you're on the road and you see all of that, you know, a lot of people don't want to go through the hassle of having to circumvent through all of those rocks just to get to where they're going. All of those obstacles along the way. But it takes a certain type of individual to overcome that fear and have that faith, but take the risk, not be afraid of taking the risk. Because deep down inside, they have that special drive to know that they are going to complete the goal, that task, or complete the mission. That there is no quitting them. There is no option for failure. And if there is a failure, that failure is only going to be temporary. It's a big difference than those that accept failure as permanent. Now we're going to stick to overcoming fear. And here's another one. It says I like this one. This one's very short, but it's very powerful. It says, become so wrapped up in something that you forget to be afraid. And how many of us are wrapped up into something? When you're not wrapped up into something, you get wrapped up by something. I'll say it again. If you're not wrapped up into something, you get wrapped up by something. Choose a side. Choose which one you want to do. I choose to be wrapped up in something instead of letting something wrap me up. And what I mean by that is that I could choose to pursue the network of awareness and everything else that's involved in it, like the Righteous Rap Academy, the Akai podcast, the Axakai podcast, network of awareness.tv, Passion Pursues Purpose, Imperial U Life Podcasts, Popcorn and Shenanigans, which will be a show on Roku. Y'all gonna love it. And I choose to be involved in things like my relationship and building that up with the woman that I truly, truly adore and care about. It's like I could choose to be wrapped up in these things, or I could be wrapped up in things that are unbecoming for me as a human being and as a child of Yah. And sometimes when you don't, or you're not fulfilling some type of specific purpose and you're not wrapped up into something meaningful, the worldly world of things, especially when it comes to temptations, those things are going to wrap you up pretty quickly. And it always comes in forms of different types of distractions. Some of the distractions are very subtle and some of them are very aggressive. But we can all agree, whether subtle or aggressive, they're all negative and not worth it in the long term, because they're not going to really bring you anywhere or do anything for you that is going to last. That's going to be something that lasts the test of time. So when you just think about that, are you wrapped up into something meaningful, or are you going to allow something else, or does something else have you wrapped up in it? And if you're one of those people that's wrapped up in something that's not conducive to your well-being and to building you up spiritually, let it go and get wrapped into something. Here's another one. It says hold on a second. I want to make sure I read this right. It says, envy and fear are the only passions to which no pleasure is attached. There is often less danger in things we fear than in the things we desire. And that's very true. Sometimes, when we're going to be doing great things and we fear it, it's not so much we fear it because there's things that are going to be really scary and it's going to put us in danger. It's really because what's going to come out of it, what we're actually going to manifest and create from that, risk that we're taking, that new journey. And that can become super scary because that it's really that great. And it puts that level of intense unknowing, which turns into fear. And then some people stray away from that feeling and others excel. Others take the risk, dive right in and say, let's do it. There's only one way to find out, right? Okay, let's read one more here. Now, these quotes that I'm going to read here, these are tied into faith is essential to overcoming fear, okay? So I'm going to read some quotes in regards to how faith is essential to overcoming fear. Essential. Keep that in mind, that it's absolutely necessary in overcoming fear. All right, so the first one I'm going to read here, this one's pretty funny. It's an anonymous one. It says, fear knocked at the door, faith answered, and lo, no one was there. Isn't that crazy? I'm going to read that one again because sometimes people have even when I first read it, I was like, I had to catch the real deep meaning to this. It says, fear knocked at the door, faith answered, and lo, no one was there. Meaning that once faith is ready and present to answer the door, to answer the call, fear has no need to be there. It's going to leave. It ain't going to be at the door to welcome you. It's going to be gone before you get there. If fear is cultivated, it will become stronger. If faith is cultivated, it will achieve the mastery. Faith is the stronger emotion because it is the positive, whereas fear is the negative. And that's self-explanatory right there. Couldn't have said it better myself. That is so true. Fear is the absence of faith. Fear in yourself and faith in the Most High are the key to the mastery of fear. The Most High is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore, we will not fear. I will not fear, for you ever with me, and you will never leave me to face my perils alone. All praise to the Most High for that, right? Because like I always say, sometimes we feel like we're on this journey, but we are never alone. It is never the same journey or experience that is ever shown. Faith over fear, people. It's a power that I honed down on because I wanted to resonate with everybody who's listening to the show so that with the practice of maintaining faith in our adversarial lives that we are currently living present day, the more we do it, the more we condition our spirit to be able to make everything else work when it comes to that, as far as the mind, the body, and everything else aside from that. You know, mind, body, and soul. First comes the spirit, though. You got to strengthen the spirit, and then everything else it'll be a lot easier to strengthen. You don't want to start working on your body first. You got to work on what's on the inside, that which you cannot see. Let's get a couple of more quotes here in regards to how faith is essential to overcoming fear. This one says, a cheerful frame of mind reinforced by relaxation, which itself harnesses fatigue. It is the medicine that puts all ghosts of fear on the run. Another one. Why should a man fear, since chance isn't all for him, and he can clearly foreknow nothing? Best to live lightly as one can, unthinking. That's pretty deep. Any device, whatever by which one faces himself from fear, is a natural good. Joking about death or anything else that oppresses us makes it less frightening. So, brothers and sisters, faith over fear, right? Why is it essential to overcoming fear? Why is faith so essential? Because it's the driving force that keeps us going. It keeps us going with a sense of purpose, feeling like, you know, even though things are not as good as it is here in the physical world, we know that there's something better. There's something more. And little by little, many of us, through our lives and how we're taking this path of the most resistance, we're starting to chip away at that knowing that there's something more than what we've been told, something more than what we're being taught present day or shown. And I never forget that quote of that interdimensional being that Robert Collier said he spoke to when he said, I don't understand how you have to live. How do you have to pay to live on a world that you was already born on? But yet we're doing it. We pay for things that fall out of the sky and grow out of the earth. We pay for that stuff. And the sad part is, you would think that in a sane society, a righteous, positive, really uplifting society, which we don't live in, or worldly, you know what I'm saying, around the world, that doesn't exist. But you would think that if there was, at least if we was paying for something that grows out the ground, why can't it just be how it is when it grows out the ground? But no, they want to give it to us fake. They don't even want to give us the real thing. And then they still want us to pay for it. And that's why we're on this path of the most resistance. Because no matter what, no matter how much we want to change the world is going to be how it is. It's not really meant for us to change it. The Most High will see to that. But we can be examples of change. And usually the people that are on the path and have successfully walked the path of the most resistance become some of the greatest teachers of that example. Is that not true? All of the brothers and sisters that have lived that life and have been great examples of inspiration to us, they've gone through some things, man. some things that most people can't even imagine, and survived it and came out stronger in it and didn't let it defeat them. Why? Because they have faith over fear. And if you're somebody who's going through a lot of turmoil right now, and you're going through a lot of like ups and downs and more downs than ups, stay resilient. Because the Most High makes no mistakes. And if you're going, like, matter of fact, I believe everyone especially like that's living in this world right now, that's considered to be an adult, we're going through some things just because the way governments are being run right now. It's like we're being put to our backs against the wall to make decisions under certain pressures. And some of us are making the right decisions. Some of us are making the wrong. And I can't help but to not mention about the science appliance, right? I always have to mention the science appliance when it comes to making a decision, because some of us chose not to have any type of utensil shoved up our nasal cavity. And some of us did. Some of us chose to have something punctured into our muscle tissue, and some of us chose not to. And some of us are not making any decisions at all. We're just, feeling a sense of hopelessness. You know how many people I salute when it comes to the science appliance real quick, now that I'm talking about it? I want to salute all the brothers and sisters, especially those throughout the United States. Some of them I spoke about way back when from Louisiana, those 10 workers that worked at they worked at an assisted living center or nursing home in Louisiana, and they all walked off the job when they were told that they had to take it. You had a lot of police officers and firefighters and first responders that did the same thing out in New York City and many, many other places. And a lot of them are doing the right thing. They're taking it to court, and they're going through the motions. They're going through that path of most resistance, because when you go through court, especially when you want to achieve something that's positive and righteous, you got to go through the motions just to get there. But you know what? It's worth it. And some of these brothers and sisters that were denied employment and now are dealing and walking that path of the most resistance, not having their jobs and having to find other things to do to bring in income, they're going to be stronger for that, not making that decision, opposed to those that said yeah. And believe it or not, some of the people that did say yes when it was time to say yes, those that said no are seeing those people fade away, slowly diminishing. And you already know what it is, right? Could be from a long line of reasons. And all of them are medical, right? But none of them pinpoints it to the thing. You know what I mean? It is what it is. The path of most resistance is not one that most people take. And I believe it's very much well tied into the 1/3 of the population that scriptures talks about. That's about this truth. That's not about the lie. It comes with the territory. And we're going to see more of it. We're going to see more of it, because right now, I remember back then, if y'all remember in my first season, I had brought up about how I had multiple conversations with people on how households were being broken up based on people's political views when it came to Trump and when it came to being a Democrat. A lot of families broke up because of that. Households, literally, broken up just because some were pro-Trump or Republican and some were Democrat. Now, that's been going on for a long time as far as like Democrat, Republican households. But it's never came to the point where it was literally separating people. Like people were leaving each other and families based on that. That never happened before, but it was happening now. Or maybe it happened back then when when communism was around and all these other things. So it has been happening a lot now that I think about it here in the United States of America. And then, of course, you had when the pandemic hit. But either way, those that walk the path of the most resistance are always going to be stronger, are always going to be more equipped. They're going to be more ready, more prepared, more aware to deal with the things that come into their lives that are considered pressure moments, life or death situations. They're going to be more equipped to deal with those life and death situations so that there could be more life that they're going to live. They're going to survive it. And then there's going to be those that are going to crumble and fall. And many of our brothers and sisters have already. And it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. That's the times we're living in right now, man. The vibration has raised at a very fast pace, and it continues to do so. And there's nothing we could do to stop it. The only thing we can do is either embrace it, understand it, and be within it and raise within that vibration. That's why, like I said earlier in this discussion, many of you are having your ears ring a lot. A lot of you are waking up throughout the night. A lot of you are feeling this like tension within you or energy that you don't know what to do with. A lot of you are feeling like completely doing something different with your lives. And that compelling feeling is getting stronger and stronger. A lot of you are thinking about quitting the jobs that you're at to start your own businesses or to just do something that's very risky. A lot of you are separating and ending relationships to family and friends that you thought you would never be cutting ties with, ever. But all of a sudden, here you are doing it. And most of the time, based on all those things I said, it's going to lead you on a trajectory to a path that has the most resistance, that has a high amount or a high level of resistance, just like that path that you see here on the artwork. It's a lot of obstacles there. But once you get down the road, man, is it going to be more rewarding to know that you went through all of that to get to where you're going, or to have a path that's laid out like the yellow brick road or the red carpet? So with that being said, brothers and sisters, let's take another intermission because we play nothing but fire music for Faith Over Fear Friday, and we always play a little bit more. And we'll be right back. And shout out to all the brothers and sisters in the chat room. Thank you for joining this broadcast tonight.
into the network of awareness.
Sometimes I get emotional. My whole life is on a Ferris wheel, and it's going round and around. They don't know how many times I done cried. They don't know. I'm just saying, y'all. $600 is what they give us. Ooh-wee. I'm just saying, how many times I'm on the side of the road trying to catch my breath. Feel me? I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying. You may think I'm in my feelings. I'm not in my feelings. I just need healing. I don't wanna self-destruct. I don't wanna crash. I don't wanna find myself dead last. You get a splash when they hit the surface. Only when teardrops fall. Only when they fall. I've been writing all day long. A humble man I am. With penmanship. A pen of pain. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm not in my feeling. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Sometimes I get emotional. My whole life is on a Ferris wheel, and it's going round and around. They don't know how many times I done cried. They don't know. I'm just saying, y'all. $600 is what they give us. Ooh-wee. I'm just saying, how many times I'm on the side of the road trying to catch my breath. Feel me? I'm just saying, y'all. I had to go to probate court. I had 3 accounts against me. When the judge called my name, she read out only 1 account. I was shocked at the same time. I wanna let you know, Yahya Elohim is the real deal. It ain't a problem he can't solve. He the one that gon' have your back, and he also will make sure you wanna stand there. I'm just saying, I'm not in my feeling. I'm just saying. Sometimes I get emotional. My whole life is on a Ferris wheel, and it's going round and around. They don't know how many times I done cried. They don't know. I'm just saying, y'all. $600 is what they give us. Ooh-wee. I'm just saying, how many times I'm on the side of the road trying to catch my breath. Feel me? I'm just saying, y'all.
Even the king allows himself to hope for more than glory. Such mad hope. But there it is. Against Asia's endless hordes, against all odds, we can do it. We can hold the hot gates. We can win.
To be alive, all praise to the Most High.
eyes never made eye contact. What if that moment you smiled, I never smiled back? We were love at first sight, this is a wild fact. We were dangerously in love, that was a while back. Was I too good to be true or not good enough? See, I would have gave you my world, which isn't much. Though it's been a while we held hands, I miss your touch. And even though you don't want to talk, I'm not giving up. See, I know you think about me when you're home alone. Maybe that's one of the reasons you hit my phone. Lately, I'm feeling like I am your last resort. Could it be I took my shot late and I was last to score? These are some of the things that be running through my head when I had a glass of wine, blunt lit, and I'm in bed. I text you when I'm blue, but you always left me red. The way that I get ignored, it makes me feel like I'm dead. And I shouldn't even be on this earth. Sometimes I have a hard time seeing my worth. To be or not to be, which feeling is worse? It's hard to tell if you're genuine or feeding me words. Do I boost your ego or make you feel regal? The things you do to me is not legal, the shit's lethal. Spill your feelings behind the door, looking through the peephole. Enough to see what I'm doing but not connect as people. Is this how you wanna control the situation? To me this feels like manipulation. Look who you facing. I play the game way better than you. I break rules, baby, I know your every move. You're in love with me, why won't you tell me the truth? And if I'm wrong, then I wanna hear it coming from you. But what's not to love? I'm a lovable dude. I give you my all and expect nothing from you. I love with no effort. It's a drug that I have to offer. There's no pressure. I'm killing any negative vibes. There's no temper. Don't expect anything less. You know better. I'm a go-getter. I've been drinking and haven't been making the best decisions. I ain't got much. I just been making the best out of living. I ain't got luck. Cause a real nigga make his own. And mother niggas never made it. But I'll always make it home. You heard?
If I'm not mistaken,
now you see something. Now you see now. Now you see now. You done fucked up, man. You done fucked up, man. You done fucked up, man. I see it. I see it. No. I see it. No. You done fucked up, man. You done fucked up, man. You done fucked up.
To that, for one chance, just one chance, to come back here and tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take
seconds, all in a day. Time is too precious to let it all go to waste. Don't let it slip, you gotta use it to your advantage. Life is too short, so don't you take it for granted. Build a fire, get inspired, try to make a difference. Life's a struggle, but things can change in an instant. 1 minute you're full of doubt and hate your life. Next moment your self-esteem don't raise to the sky. Kinda funny, but that's life and you can't predict it. All we can do is be a humble soul and stay persistent. Listen, I know you hate living in the same conditions, but the situation's in your hands, you gotta make it different. Become the rose that suddenly rose from the ashes. Keep moving forward till it's boring to even speaking past it. Be the exception, that green apple in the basket. And keep that motivation burning with the passion.
Rise, rise, we're gonna rise, rise. We're not gonna stop till we reach the summit. And our spirits ain't ever gonna sink or plummet. Rise, rise, we're gonna rise, rise. We're not gonna stop till we reach the summit. And our spirits ain't ever gonna sink or plummet.
All praise to the King, Yah Elohim. My path was unclear, but he saw better things. A servant for the Father, boy, it's awesome to be. My eyes are open, no longer lost in the weeds. If he did it for me, then he could do it for you. No matter whatever lane you choose to pursue, just know that he'll be with you through the winters. Like a brother, like a sister, like a father, mother, uncle, aunt. Yeah, he'll never miss you. It's your turn to make a move and rise. Like a missile that's about to launch up in the sky. Don't be afraid, everybody's got a light. You gotta let it shine, let it guide you to be first place at the finish line. In time, things will take a turn for the better. Don't look back and slow down. Keep your foot on the pedal. Give the wheel to the Lord. He's gonna steer you right to a future so beautiful and it's filled with light.
Rise, rise, we're gonna rise, rise. We're not gonna stop till we reach the summit. And our spirits ain't ever gonna sink or plummet. Rise, rise, we're gonna rise, rise. We're not gonna stop till we reach the summit. And our spirits ain't ever gonna sink or plummet. Hold your head up high, know someday you're gonna rise. Trust the King, he knows what you need. He knows for sure what you're destined to be.
Just gotta
hold your head up high, know someday you're gonna rise. Trust the King, he knows what you need. He knows for sure what you're destined to be. Rise, rise, we're gonna rise, rise. We're not gonna stop till we reach the summit. And our spirits ain't ever gonna sink or plummet. Rise, rise, we're gonna rise, rise. We're not gonna stop till we reach the summit. And our spirits ain't ever gonna sink or plummet.
Wasn't perfect, but at least someone said all praise. Hey, hey, hey,
Ever heard? Attitude reflect leadership. Attitude reflect leadership. Attitude reflect leadership. Attitude reflect leadership.
AJ on the keys.
Every time I look around, yeah, it's always something, yeah. Trying to save a little money, but I gotta give it up. It's just always something. I be tempted on a daily to throw my hands up. Give it up, yeah. I can't give up. I damn near lost my mind. Can't take a break. Too many depending on me. I look around, yeah. Always something.
Let me tell y'all something. I was going through a lot of hell that I could shake the devil's hand. Unfortunately, I didn't have anyone to help me on my journey. I feel you, brother, when you can't say no money. Bills are like stick-up kids. When you get paid, they will tell you to give it up. Put your hands up. That is messed up, especially when you be in my position. Everything that I have, it goes to hospital bills, car note, insurance, etc. I really want to give it up, but when I feel down, I pray to Yahweh to lift me up.
Every time I look around, yeah, it's always something, yeah. Trying to save a little money, but I gotta give it up. It's just always something. I be tempted on a daily to throw my hands up. Give it up, yeah. I can't give up. I damn near lost my mind. Can't take a break, too many depending on me. I look around, yeah, always something.
It's always something. I'm thugging what to do with these hundreds. My bro wanna borrow money. My aunt wanna borrow money. They know I just had a baby, this crazy ego bluffing. But I just do the good deed with my heart because I love them. I went within, I'm surrounded by higher beings and angels. Discover elements they don't show on periodic tables. Don't get confused, these demons try to manipulate. Demons looking crooked, so allow me to demonstrate. Not a rapper, I'm a realist, connect with y'all forever. This music stuff is just a stepping stone to something better. I'm on fire on my playlist, it's Red Hot Chili Peppers. Give it away, give it away, give it away now.
Every time I look around, yeah, it's always something. Trying to save a little money, but I gotta give it up. It's just always something. I be tilting on a daily to throw my hands up. Give it up, yeah. I can't give up. I damn near lost my mind. Can't take a break, too many depending on me. I look around, yeah, always something.
Kelso, this is a banger.
Always, yeah. Always, yeah.
Yeah.
You are now tuned in to the Network of Awareness.
How you doing?
You had my back when there was no one left. Before I turn on you, I pray for death. Praying at your feet before I go to sleep. Fast life, no food, I don't wanna eat. Staring at the guard, watch them grill me. Before I let them drag you away, they gotta kill me. If I lose my life, then let it be. If you're scared with no faith, you don't feel me. It was a somewhat strange afternoon. I was working in the shop when I got the news. I was startled by a small click. They said, "Ghost, grab your things and come quick." I can feel the tension, I can feel the noise. They said, "Ghost, they sold them out for a bag of coins." We can see it in each other's eyes. This is the day we talk about, man, it's time to ride. Running on my way down to Calvary, running out of breath. I hope the heathens don't be mad at me. I'm on my way, I've been late, but I just found out. When they told me, I said, "What are you talking about?" Followed up with, "Man, who told you that?" Grabbed my sword and put it in the sheet that's on my back. Thinking, is this the day I lose my life? Cause I gotta go to war for the love of Christ. I show up and it ain't looking right. All the Hebrews here, they yelling out, "Kill Christ." I'm getting mad, I'm tired of being nice. I look Peter in his eye, we need to knock him thrice. All I can do is just shake my head. Now I'm weaving through the crowd, I gotta touch his hand. I can't fold, I gotta take a stand. So I yell, "Hold it up, I know this man." You had my back when there was no one left. Before I turn on you, I pray for death. Praying at your feet before I go to sleep. Fast life, no food, I don't wanna eat. Staring at the guard, watch them grill me. Before I let them drag you away, they gotta kill me. If I lose my life, then let it be. If you're scared with no faith, you don't feel me.
Wow, such a beautiful day, I can't complain. Yahweh has showed us the way, but this crowd outside is going insane. I stick my head out the door just to be sure it's okay. I see ghosts moving through a crowd, aiding the Messiah, trying not to let the angry crowd hang and crucify him. Before I join the fray, I prayed in scuba diving, that's my Lord and Savior. I gotta do what's right, so I fight. If you don't stand for Yah, who are you? Man, why the fuck are you breathing? Come on. I see a couple guards stuck with team and ghosts. Y'all put it on my soul to help me meet so yo. Ain't gonna sit around and watch my brother fall. If I die, at least I know I went out, give him my all. Yeah, this mob might be a bit too much, but if you want the son of Yah, you gotta get to us.
Here we are, it's us against them. I see a lot of swords and bows, but we ready. We ready. We ready. Come on. Ready, yeah. Yahweh, I know you with me. As sure as the light of day. All praise to Yah.
You had my back when there was no one left. Before I turn on you, I pray for death. Praying at your feet before I go to sleep. Fast life, no food, I don't wanna eat. Staring at the guard, watch them grill me. Before I let them drag you away, they gotta kill me. If I lose my life, then let it be. If you're scared with no faith, you don't feel me. You had my back when there was no one left. Before I turn on you, I pray for death. Praying at your feet before I go to sleep. Fast life, no food, I don't wanna eat. Staring at the guard, watch them grill me. Before I let them drag you away, they gotta kill me.
If I lose my life, then let it be. Take a scare with no faith, you don't feel me.
How you doing?
You are now tuned in to the Network of Awareness.
Please just tell me what's happening to me in plain English without the mumbo jumbo.
I built this shit, me, brick by brick, and I'll be damned if I let you tear it down just 'cause you don't like the way another nigga talk.
Attitude reflect leadership. Attitude reflect leadership.
Yes. Thank you for joining the live broadcast tonight. Really appreciate all the brothers and sisters that joined the chat room, that was in the chat room, that was listening outside. Definitely download the shows and leave your reviews on the links that are provided in the description page. And I hope that this show gave you great substance in knowing that the path that you are on is really the path that you chose. It's the one that you desired because your faith is elevating, it's vibrating, it is raising in its frequency over all the fear. So just stay on the path, on most resistance, which is the one that builds character and builds you up into the man and woman you're supposed to be, into the warrior kings and queens that you are. So I want to thank y'all for tuning in on Faith Over Fear Fridays. And like I always say, when you live in the present, it's always an opportunity for a new beginning. And don't look for the light at the end of the tunnel, because the light is and always will be within you. So light up the tunnel and find your way through the darkness. This is Or, the informationalist, saying peace, love, and light, and Barakatah.
This concludes the Network of Awareness podcast. For more information on the Network of Awareness, please subscribe via email to our website, networkofawareness.com, and follow us on Spreaker.com or any other listening apps you use. For any questions about the NOA, email us at aura@networkofawareness.com. Thank you for listening to one of the fastest growing podcast shows on society and culture in America and abroad. When you live in the present, there's always an opportunity for a new beginning.